So today it's just going to be really short and simple. I'm just going to let the winner of last week's contest talk and explain his answer to us. But real quick, let's talk about what we did last week. Do you remember what we did? That's right, we put bread in the toaster and the heat broke down the starches to sugars, and that reacted with the amino acids and that made charcoal. That made the toast turn black. And we also talked about the caramel experiment, where the sugar turned a light brown and became sweet. Do you remember the Maillard reaction? What does it do? That's right, it browns foods and it gives it that delicious flavor. It makes it more tasty and delicious. But remember what happens when you burn it. If there's too much heat, what happens? Yeah, it burns and it turns black and it tastes bitter and awful. But what does this have to do with God? Thank you to everyone that participated, but I really liked this person's answer best because it had so much to do with everything that I've already been talking about. I also liked his answer because it had two parts and it was just very meaningful. So, take it away, Jeff.
So I'm here just to explain what does the chemical reaction that you just witnessed have to do anything to do with God. Well, I was thinking of some of the things that Miranda, Miss Jones, was saying in her science experiment, that sometimes the pressures of life or the heat of life kind of brings out more flavors in us, just like it does in toast, we'll say, for instance. But then too much of one circumstance or one experience can actually burn us out. And so I thought that was very unique, seeing how this chemical reaction, and again, at one point, enhanced, we'll say, bread, but at a certain point, made it unusable. And sometimes that's how life is. That the circumstances that surround us have the opportunity to flavor us, when too much of one circumstance may actually exhaust us into non-use. So those were one of my thoughts.
So yeah, just like heat affects food, stress and evil in the world affects us. And it's up to us to decide how we want it to let us affect us. We can let it make us sweet and better, or we can let it control us and burn us out completely and we'll just be bitter and awful.
Second thought was that even when we do end up, say, burnt, we could still scrape that off and find value underneath. And so to me, that is really the purity of God, rather than looking at all the outside of us and all the circumstance of us, and that He looks at the inside of us. And the inside of us is where true value really is. So that's what I have to say.
So yeah, sometimes the stress will burn us out. We just can't fight anymore. But it's okay because there's hope. Just like the burnt toast, you can scrape off the black charcoal. Well, you can dust off all the stress and all the anger and the bitterness and become new again, because you're still your sweet self underneath. So things are going to happen to you, and it's up to you to decide how you're going to react to it. Are you going to let it make you strong and sweet, or are you going to let it destroy you and make you bitter? I think that having God in your life just helps you. He can be there for you when you just feel like you need somebody. He can help you be strong and fight through the struggles and the stress in your life. And if you just can't fight anymore and you let it get you down and burn you out, it's okay, because you can scrape it off, you can wipe off that dust, all that stress, and still be okay. So let God help you through the struggles and help you to stay sweet and strong and to be a good person and get through the stress and the evils in the world. And it's all going to be okay. And until next time, bye!